Whenever I have a couple of extra bucks just lying around, something I like to do is go altcoin hunting. Now we all know that DeFi and alternate chains to Ethereum have been kind of mooning. Pretty much almost all of them have. So I decided let me go ahead and take a look at the next alt chain or what have you. We all know Polkadot is one of the biggest contenders in the space. So I thought that maybe I'd find a Polkadot based gem, and that's what we're going to talk about today. HydraDX. So HydraDX is essentially a cross-chain liquidity protocol built on Substrate. It's a parachain on Polkadot, but essentially the point is to be able to exchange assets back and forth, pretty much cross-chain, as I mentioned. So rather than just have it be, for example, in Uniswap you can only exchange coins, your ERC20s back and forth based on Ethereum. These guys, HydraDX, want to make it so that they can, you can pretty much trade assets from ERC20s to, let's say, Polkadot chains to Bitcoin to any other coin, essentially. From what it seems like, it's almost going to be somewhat of like an actual decentralized exchange, but without a layer that it operates on. It'll pretty much be able to interact with every different chain that exists. So to me, I'm like, yo, this sounds like a really, really good idea. That's why your boy kind of got in it the other day. But something else that obviously you can do with it, you can swap, as I mentioned. You can provide liquidity, and as I mentioned, they did say that they have a possibility of potentially working with Ethereum tokens, Polkadot tokens, Bitcoin, etc. But I want to make that clear. They said it's a possibility. So from what I understand, that idea that I kind of mentioned, I feel like that's something that they want to do, but not something that they have, built out quite yet. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is, they're building, and I'll kind of get into that stuff in a little bit. But let's talk about the main point of HDX. So obviously HDX, it can be used in governance. So you can kind of have governance over, the actual platform itself when it comes out. You can use it to reduce the cost of trading fees. Trading fees, obviously, I would say I like that. That's tokenomics right there, right? I think any good protocol has that kind of built in, especially because it gives value to the token itself, right? That's why, for example, Ether is worth a good amount because, when you have to go ahead and pay transaction fees on Ethereum, whether it's ERC20 fees or regular, smart contract fees, you need to have Ether. So it's kind of built in tokenomics, for HydraDX in this case. And obviously, if you hold HDX as well, your over collateralization ratio will be a little bit lower than if you were to just, go ahead and collateralize otherwise. But additionally, you can stake. They are proof of stake, they said, and they mentioned on the website that you can have swag if you hold a token. I don't know, but they actually went live. I think it was like a month ago, as I mentioned. So if you bought HGX during the LBP or the liquidity bootstrapping pool, that little period, it's essentially locked, and you really can't transfer it anywhere, and you technically can't buy it right now either. So it's a weird situation. I don't know. Right now, again, you were able to buy it on Balancer. They had like a little thing going on. I think the cheapest price it was around like 2 cents, and it went up all the way to like 8 cents during that Balancer period. I got it in around like 7 cents, so it is what it is. But since then they have actually opened up the claiming process. So if you want to actually transfer your HGX from your ERC20s to the actual, I think it's the mainnet for. Oh no, I think it's the on the Rococo testnet that they have it on right now. So they have it kind of built out on there where you can kind of redeem it, but you can't really do anything with it right now, anyways. So that's something I guess I would just keep in mind. But essentially, just to kind of explain what that LBP was, liquidity bootstrapping pool, that's how they were raising money in the first place. Essentially, it's an adjustable balancer smart contract that is used for an initial distribution and price discovery of new assets. It uses a constant selling pressure and has a limited time duration during which price continually drops if there's no demand. So I've never really actually heard of a liquidity bootstrapping pool until then, but it's really cool. So they have like a certain amount of HDX that they want to sell. And if not all of it is sold throughout the time period, then the price will drop that amount of tokens. It's a little bit weird, but I kind of like it. I think it kind of matches supply and demand to a certain extent. So if there's not enough supply to fill their orders that they want to sell, then the price will kind of drop proportionally. So I think it's pretty interesting. More interesting than just putting it on Uniswap. But something else I kind of wanted to mention as well. They have a couple of things built out. I kind of only 2 things so far. Number one, the Chrome extension. Obviously, if you use anything related to Polkadot, you have the Polkadot.js extension. And that's where you can go ahead and swap it and have all that stuff, your HDX stored in there. So it's pretty much just a Web3 wallet. That's something else. I wonder if you can actually put this on a ledger yet. I feel like I got to put it on like a hardware wallet or something, because they were saying that stuff's not really going to be ready for like another couple months. So in terms of their roadmap, they already have had a couple of things kind of built out already. Again, the token distribution's been done. The Rococo testnet they're already connected to, and they just started the incentivized testnet, which I'm not even entirely sure what the hell that is. But essentially, the other things that they're kind of waiting for is the tweaking of their pool model. So kind of how their liquidity pools are going to work. The release of the first version of their HydraDX JS SDK, which sounds like it's just going to be like the main like implementation of how Hydra is going to work, as well as the new improved UI, which is, I love UI, dude. By the way, I really like how like their website is. I don't know. I like the colors that they use, and like the kind of retro-ish theme that they have going on. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of like a blue and purple version of Doom, if you know that game. But the main stuff that we're going to kind of be looking for is the rest of 2021 that they have on their roadmap. So the running of the mainnet, the implementing of other financial instruments, including options, lending, derivatives, and synthetics. That stuff I'm very excited for. And obviously HydraDX becoming a go-to liquidity protocol and cross-chain swap hub. Because again, this is something, the reason why I kind of caught this is because, number one, obviously, very risky. This is all pretty much just promises and nothing delivered yet. But number two, because the idea is really cool. Like this is to me what I look for in terms of a decentralized exchange. Again, I live in New York, so I have a need for something like this, right? I can't use Binance. I can't use I can use KuCoin. I can't use Binance. I can't use any other exchange besides KuCoin, Gemini, and Coinbase. That's it. So I can't really use. I don't have any access to a lot of different coins other than ERC20s, because Uniswap exists. So unfortunately, that's kind of the situation that I'm in. But that's why I'm incentivized personally to, see stuff like this succeed. So to me, that's why I kind of cop the coin. Again, this is, by the way, this is not a sponsored review at all. I own the coin, so maybe that's why I'm making the video, obviously. But I think it's a really cool idea, just in general. And by the way, obviously, I've made a couple of videos just about like, I think I made one video actually about coins to stay away from, why to buy a certain coin as well. Number one, the code, right? Are these guys even making anything? That's one. So that's like, to me, like the top thing. If I can't look at their GitHub, if I can't see what they're doing, I'm not fucking with it. But fortunately, they have their GitHub public, and they have quite a bit of stuff going on. Now, their GitHub is actually called the Galactic Council. Those are the people behind, HydraDX in general, is what it seems like. And listen, I'm not gonna go through every repo and see exactly what they did for each one, but you can see that like almost all of their actual, all their repos and whatnot, they're all pretty much being used, and actually a lot more than the most of the ones that I've seen. Seems like a lot of people are actually working on Hydra. So to me, again, this is kind of why I threw some money into it. Again, this is not an endorsement. I wasn't paid by them. I've never even talked to the team, to be quite honest with you. I don't think I've ever even talked to anyone from the community. But thought I'd throw this video up as well. And again, one thing that I will say, obviously, in terms of actually getting this, be careful with trying to buy the coin or token right now. Again, I don't think you can buy it anywhere. I think there may be like other tokens that might want to track the price of it. Like kind of like a futures version of this. I'd be really careful with it. I think right now you can't even buy this, again, just because that they're not even allowing transfers of the coin itself. After the ERC20 version was released on the balancer pool, like that was it. Like I'll even throw up a screen in terms of the price right now. You'll see that it hasn't moved since like February, or was it February? Yeah, since February. So yeah, but I would say, if you guys know of any other coins related to kind of this type of mentality, like an omni pool of sorts, I like that name that they have there. Like a cross-chain decentralized exchange, which is pretty much to me what this is. Throw it down in the comments below. I would love to know more about like different protocols that are doing stuff like this, because to me, I have a use for it. I have a need for a decentralized exchange where, for example, I can trade my Bitcoin for I don't know, Polkadot, for example, or my Ethereum for some Dogecoin or some shit like that. Cross-chain trading. That's something that I need. Cross-chain incentivized trading, because Komodo has that right now. They have their own decentralized exchange, but unfortunately, there's no incentive to provide liquidity for it. Therefore, no one's really going to use it, unfortunately. But anyways, that being said, yeah, let me know down below. Again, if you guys know of any coins similar to this, throw it down there. And if you have any Hydra, if you're familiar with the protocol itself, I don't know, give me a shout out, bro. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Oh, by the way, this isn't my room. This is my girlfriend's room. We're working remote right now. See ya.